Hello. I'm walking down to the shop this morning, and before I walked to the shop, I just thought I'd show you what's in my backyard. Actually, literally in my backyard. You'll look over there. That's a calf barn that they raise their calves for their milking at. And then the large buildings you see there are freestall barns. Basically, those cows live in them barns while they're all on their milk cycle. And I think I've showed the block building before. Well, I'm walking kind of up to the shop from across the backyard, back of our lot. The lot here is about an acre. It's like I say, this is all family land. My grandfather Bale give this particular piece of lot to my mother and dad in '63 when they moved here. My dad got disabled he was a farmer. Actually, Dad was a dairy farmer. That's what he was doing when he quit work. That's where I was raised. Our farm was 15 miles from here, maybe 20, other side of Shelby, North Carolina, where we lived. And there's some more views of the farm operation. It's right around me. I mean, as you can tell, this is all right in my backyard. Right now, I've got a couple of vehicles parked. I'm gonna actually probably move the car up to the driveway today. I switch back and forth. The truck's mine, my personal truck. The car's my mother's actually car since she's in the home. The car was titled to both of us, so I actually drive it some just because it needs to be drove. And I know you've seen the back of the shop, so we're gonna walk up the back of the shop. There's a couple things in here I'm gonna look at, and we'll be back with you. Good morning. I'm working on a video. I don't know when I might actually post this. I'm gonna make a piece for work, a little block, put Dykem pins in that we can magnetize, put on a machine. I'm gonna start on that today. Basically, also, I'm making up a care package inserts for a fellow YouTuber. Maybe I ain't gonna tell you who, but there's a couple, three I will let him try. Some I've got. I'm going to send them to him and let him reveal them when he gets them. So outside of that, that's basically where we're at this morning. So we're gonna go work from there. So just hang loose, and we're gonna go from there. The first thing I'm gonna do this morning is saw a piece of stock, and let me see if I can aim you over there towards the saw. I got the heater running this morning. It's a little cool in the shop. You can see the saw way back over here. We'll get you up here a little closer to the saw. We're going to saw this stock up. There we go. We get a little better view of the saw. You see the heater's running. There we go. So we're going to saw this stock up right quick. Mark it, okay. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this video. To be honest with you, I'm going to work on it some today. I may not even get it finished. I've just got some free time. We don't say taking a little nap this morning. I'm going to work a little bit in the shop. Started back to work this weekend. And so that means I'm getting up at 5:30 a.m. And so now I've already got a habit of getting up at 5:30. Don't have, she's a vet that's military disabled. I mean, it's hot on my leg here, people. So this don't have to be exactly what it's still hot on my leg. Look at my leg up there. Look at my leg. I have cooked Jim. All right. That's all I'm going to eat off. Go ahead and finish off on video. Go ahead and start getting the meal ready. And we'll be right back here with you in just a second. Okay. I'm going to cut the heater off. I think that's warm enough. And I've kind of got this set up. I've got your good sharp shot. And what we're going to do, let me see how much speed I got. Way too much for this. Even though this is aluminum. Wait a minute, that's in high gear. I'm gonna go to low. There we go. What's wrong here? Now. Alright. I'm kind of going to center this up over this block. And hopefully you can see I have a chip screen. And what I'm going to do is just kind of loosen it up. I'm going to do is square these two blocks up. They don't have to be exact. What I use for a fly cutter, I've got a fly cutter holder. That particular is just a one like from a little machine shop. It's got a little cheap Harbor Freight insert tool holder in it. I've got another one. I've got another fly cutter I use too. It's got a grindable carbide. But to be honest with you, most of the fly cutting I do, this right here works just fine. Does a good job. So what I'm going to do is basically get these blocks sort of milled down together where they're both about the same size. Take a little more. We'll just inserts will work good enough. We're not. There we go. All we're doing here is just squaring these blocks up. There's not a specific length of what they're supposed to be. This isn't something I'm making up. Basically what we're going to do is make both these blocks the same length, and then we're going to drill a hole down in the center of each block, and like I say, this is not a precision, work to length deal. This is just actually what it's going to be, is something just to look good. And like I said, I got your camera set right up here on the vise, looking through the safety shield. I'm just milling this one right here off. I'm going to turn her around here in just a second, set it back down in that one parallel, and then we're going to just machine the other end off. And then we'll take this edge finder, find the edges, or find an edge. That's what we want right there. Okay. Just let me open this up a little bit, and we'll just turn this over. I'll have to knock a few burrs off the file right quick. We're squaring these blocks up. These blocks, what they're going to be done is basically I'm going to fix a rare earth magnet to them. One of them, you know, a neodymium magnets or whatever. You know, I just call them rare earth. It's a lot of big words for a country boy. And hopefully I might load this sometime. Like I said, I may not even finish it. Probably won't even finish these today. If I do, then that's great. Okay. And again, I'm just going to kind of put these in there and try to seat them where I want these set right together. There we go. See if the parallel tightens up. That needs a little help. There we go. I'm not going to tap these down and go through a lot of that horse hucky. I mean, you know, basically this is just a deal here. We're just going to go over here and I'm going to move the head down about 15 thousandths, and we're going to just true them up. That's all we need. And then we'll work from there. Make sure I clear good. Hit the cycle start. Power button. I'm going to go down about 15, 20 thou. And then we're just going to make a facing cut again. Just make sure everything cleans up. That's all we need to do. This is not these are not critical lengths. Like I said, this isn't a precision going to fit in anything. Mostly what I'm doing this for is appearance sake, so there won't be no solid, rough edges on the blocks. So I'll bring you back in a minute so when we get to the. Okay, we're gonna find a couple edges right quick and go from there, and we'll work from there. So I got you a view there of the edges. Let's work with it. There you go. And let's kind of eyeball it. Well, wait a minute. Hold it just a second. Just before I go too far. I haven't deburred this part. I'm going to go ahead and just knock that off. I just stuck it in here. I didn't deburr this one. Didn't even take it really. I just slid it over to the side. So let me just go ahead right quick. Now what I did is I've made a mark. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be somewhat in the center, because basically all it's going to have is a Dykem pin is going to set in this aluminum block, so you don't, you know, it's not like it's fitting into a precision application of any kind. So okay. And that's the 0 for the X. You know, excuse me if I'm having a brain fart. I forgot what the diameter of the edge finder is. I think it's 1/4 inch, but you know, I need to check because I forgot. If you forget things, always don't. Yeah, mine's a 200 thousandths. Okay, so that means we need to move it over 100. All right. That's 0 there. Okay. So we'll just go ahead. This block is 1 1/4 inch wide, 1/250, and divide that by 2 and 625 thousandths more be in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and center it up on the x-axis. Okay, now that's center for that. Now we will just go ahead and move the Y over, and we'll hit the edge of the Y. Really would better have an inch square block, but I didn't have any. This is what I've got. And so use what you got when you're making something that, you know, I just like these. They look good. Okay, that's that. Close enough, okay, and then we'll just stop the spinner, and we got to move this one in 625 thousandths too. Okay, and then that's zero. Okay, so now we got our zeros. I just usually when I'm doing my edge finder, I'm just usually do it like this. I just usually just grab it up, and I don't chuck it tight. I just chuck it in there just enough to hold it. This is aluminum, so I'm not going to go through the bother of step drilling. I'm going to center drill this fool, and then we're going to jack it up, and we're going to put the real McCoy right in it. We're not going to step drill. Again, this is going to hold I'm just going to go in there, and I'm just going to put a drill. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the drill in I want to use, and then we'll zero everything out of the touch. And that's what we'll do. Hopefully I can get the drill in there. I think I've got a drill that will work over here at the side. Hopefully that's going to fit in there. And if I don't, then I've got another problem to consider. Problem is, the drill's not going to fit. So we're going to have to do something a little different than I intended on doing. We're going to put this drill in the collet. So hang loose a minute. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to do this a little differently. Now what I did before I center drilled this bark, before I had the camera on, is I took and I measured from the edge of the block to there. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to change the collet, make life a little easier for myself, is I'm going to put this next one right here in, and I'm going to line it up right to the same spot with the scale. Again, I'm not caring if this is perfect. I'm just trying to get close. That's not quite the center. It's going to be just fine. And if this down a little bit, we'll have to do some work. I mean, if it's off a little of the center, it'd be perfectly fine. Okay? Because again, all we're going to do with this is stick a Dykem marker in it and a permanent magnet hanging on the side of the machine. This isn't going to be a precision mounted, got to line up with the world stuff, so it doesn't really matter that much. Since I've got you there, hold loose, let me change everything. Okay, I've got the drill in, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to touch the drill. We're going to call that 0. You can't see my DRO up here because you're on there and seeing the action of the machine. Knock some of this here stuff off. And what? I think I've got it in here. Let me see if I can find it. I still should. Oh, there we go. I've got a little bit of Stan's anchor. I've got some anchor lube, and I like the product generally. It's a good product. My deal with it is I've got so much cutting oil, and you see me use a lot of cutting oil. Seems like this. But it's not wanting to come out of there today. Let me get an acid brush right quick. It's in this top drawer, the second drawer. I've got some acid brushes. Let me grab an acid brush up to stop there. You know, my shop's not heated, so probably everything's got a little cold down in here. So we're going to take a little anchor lube and just sort of spread it around down in there because it's just easier. Now, all right, let's start her up and go back again. I'm going to go ahead and at least drill it down an inch. I think you blocked for 3 inches too. So, I'm going to drill it down at least an inch. That should capture that pin. A little bit bigger than an inch and a quarter, because that's a pretty thick block. Inch and a half paint the block. The Dykem pins themselves are about 6 inches long or so. What we want to do is have the pin just to hang out a bit. That's about an inch and an eighth we're just about at. So we'll go an inch and a quarter. There we go, that's an inch and a quarter. I think that's going to be enough. We'll just stop it right there. Okay. And I'm going to check it with the pen. We'll clean everything off, see if that's one. Alright, you've heard me talk about doing this. So this is how I chamfer stuff. Sometimes I just basically just stick it in a cordless. I haven't got a good height. Take my cordless drill with this chamfer tool. Just knock a little chamfer in it. Again, these are not going to be precise. They don't have to. All this is going to do, and I'll show you this pin like this will set in it. And then we're going to flip them over, set them back up on the mill, and mill them. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to turn the mill on here. You notice I've just made some marks with like a Sharpie or a magic marker. This isn't precise stuff. All we want to do is just cut a slot for that so that the magnets will set down in it. It will put a 2-part epoxy on them. So right there is 0. The magnets are about 150 thousandths thick, roughly. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go down about. I like them to stick out a little bit. So we're going to go about half the thickness of the magnet, which is about 75. That's about half of 150. And this is just a roughing. This is just a roughing in mill. We're not doing anything again fancy. Okay, that's 75 thou. And all we're going to do is just kind of run this out here. Out here we're going 75 thousandths in. We're just going to run this slot right up to the other mark. Okay. And then we're just going to back it off. And we're going to go back it off a little bit. We'll just, don't touch is even better. We'll go right over here to the next mark. Again, this isn't precision rocket science. It's basically it's just a slot to keep that magnet set in when you epoxy the magnet. So the magnet will, if it sets 0 like it did on the other side, which it should, a little difference, but not that much. Okay, we go down 75 thousandths. Again, this is all this slot's for, is to hold the magnets, to keep them from moving around, and good that we got about a good stick out, and so I like I like a good stick out. Because basically what this is going to be attached to is just right on the side of the machine, on the side of the machine, and there's a pin going to be picked in and out. The magnets actually work good. I've made these blocks for Allen wrenches that work, and it's worked real well for us. The reason why I didn't center, because we're centered. This is a square piece of stock, so centers don't change. There it is. That's all there is to it. Right there, we're done. Now we'll just shut this thing off, and I'll put you back on the tripod. I'll take a file to it and deburr it, and you'll see what we want to do here in just a second. Okay, I'm going to use a little different epoxy that I normally use. I've been using Dykem, and I'm going to try some of this JB Weld stuff here and see how it works. It's supposed to work. We'll see. We'll clean it up and we'll make sure we get all the good off. So the two parts won't harden, hopefully, and cause me headache, and I want to take this off later again. Okay. I mean, most all these epoxies work the same way. I just use whatever's handy. I mean, I just take a piece of paper, usually like this, and I'll mix it up, just like this. And the purpose of what I'm doing is, if you mix it up, it'll sort of turn a cream color. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video or not, but there it is, cream color. I'm going to get you a little rubber screw. That's white long enough. We'll get another one to work with, use a scrap. I usually pick up an old screw or something. I don't have a lot of sticks laying around and stuff, so usually I just use a wood screw for a mixing tool because it's handy. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this up and we're going to lather it in here, in this slot. Just sort of like this. We want to get the slot good and full of epoxy. What this epoxy does is basically glue the magnet to the aluminum, and it'll hold the magnet down on this aluminum really good. My homemade camera mount that you see me use, and basically we just take the magnet and just poke it right down in there. We want the glue to kind of ooze around it. And that's one of the reasons I like these magnets holes. And obviously, when you're doing this, you got to switch polarities. You put them close together because they'll tend to attract. They kind of want to push apart, or they'll stick together, but that's even better. Now, I've got these two magnets attached to the center of this. Again, I'm not a big carer if it's not perfect, because obviously I wanted room for that adhesive to bond around the magnets. This piece is here is, we'll clean this a little bit better here in a second. Let's get this other one ready. But once this epoxy sets,
again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to, basically what's going to happen, this is the magnet mount, and you could get a little more exact. I just picked up a quick milling cutter and put in that I'd rather it be a little big. That way you got a lot more. You don't only have the glue that's underneath it, but you have the epoxy that's beside of it. You got a lot better bond this way, and you get a better bond, and that bond is what you need. I've used different kinds. I bought them like some of the other people that buy these magnets. They come from off eBay, and they're most of the time come straight from China. So I've got a few I've bought up. They work really well. Let's go ahead and set that one in there. And then we'll go ahead and I'm having a problem with one here getting another magnet. I've got them stuck over here beside the toolbox, and they don't want to release each other too good, so I'm having a bit of a challenge. We'll get it here in just a second. There we go. Now obviously you want to turn the polarities like I did there, and just sort of glue them in the middle and let it squish a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is get a little bit of acetone, put on this paper towel, and sort of try to clean up some around it while it's setting. And then once it sets up, I was basically probably take this to the house and not let it get next to nothing magnetic for at least 24 hours, so it will set. And what this will do is give you, plenty of acetone on a piece of paper. And you can clean this up with acetone, and it's real good. So you want to try to clean up your mess where you've overed it. You really don't care about having it down in your hole, and it's that's what the purpose of the big mill slops is. The big mill slops is actually there for that reason, to give you for it to bind. You see, once this sets, that's going to be help not only at the bottom but through the holes and around the edges. So you want to also take your acetone, and any where you're like me, I'm sloppy. No, I don't need that. It kind of wants to dig out of that hole. You kind of got to be careful. Q-tip would be nice. I want to get me some. I'm going to do. I hadn't made anything like this in a while. I kind of went back to work this week, and I think this is something I thought about before I went out. We have to do strange things in our environment. I recently posted a video about the first day back, or my first few days back. If I had come back a little earlier, I would probably be at work today. They're working today. The only reason I'm not, I wasn't put on the schedule, and actually they made the schedule up on a Tuesday, and I didn't. My first day back this week was Wednesday. That's when my medical leave come done. So I had some other things I was doing. It sure wasn't down here in the shop having fun. Tell you that much. Okay. Well, let me get the top of this. Here's got a little more goo on the top. But you could take a razor blade, but I just prefer to clean them right now while I've got it. And clean it. Okay. Alright, this is, I'll get it up here where you get a view of it. Try to get up to the camera where you can get a view. This is it. Basically what's going to happen, this is going to be mounted, and I'm also going to set this plastic box up here to give you a picture. It's going to be mounted to something like that, and a pin will set in it just like that. And the purpose of the pins is the finished parts. There's marks on them that shows how the transmission is supposed to be put in time. Well, another operation puts the marks in, but people forget to do things. And so they think if you're the last guy, you're supposed to fix everybody else's goof ups. So they get on the right people, but still they want to hold you accountable for somebody else's mistakes. A little frustrating. That's one of the things that that I will tell you about working in a large company, that you got people who are not engineers, not machinists. You got a lot of accountants that run the world, and they seem to sometimes, safety and quality people seem to think you got to make everything idiot proof. You got to do something to stop somebody making it idiot proof. Well, you know, I think most people that watch my videos and all these other guys' videos on YouTube will tell you that machining isn't idiot proof. So I'm going to stop the camera, point it back up towards me, and then good. Okay, well, I finished the project. I actually tried to do this in real time. It's a real, very simple project. It's not complicated. No, I could have made them real fancy. I could have machined every corner and spotted everything perfect. I didn't. I'm making something that's going on the side of a machine to hold a Dykem pen. I mean, you know, so why do I want to spend a lot of extra effort, and I'm doing this for my own benefit at work? I mean, I'll put it in a paperwork and I'll get some sort of reward, but not monetary. And basically, it's just something that makes my life easier during the day. So that's the whole purpose of what we've done. It's a very simple little project. And like I say, sometimes you have to choose your level of precision for what you're working on. And I mean, I'm a person, I want things that work. And some folks, they want things that are pretty, that looks really good. Well, my position is that looks better than a pen laying up on top of the thing. I made several of these blocks, and they went over real well at work. So for different things, and this is just the latest of the greatest ideas you come across. So basically, that's what this is going to be. I'll post this video up sometime. I don't know, maybe over the week, maybe this weekend, maybe next week. So you all have a great day, great weekend. Take care.
All right. There is pin mount at work. See the Dykem pin in. And what we use that Dykem pin for is to make the timing marks. Cover the timing marks up on the thing. There is one pin mounts mounted to the machine using a hand, so you can see it. There's a good view of it. Well, I've got it mounted up here at work, and that's what we need to do. Okay, so that'll conclude this. I'll just tack this on to the end and put the close of this. This is sort of a PM. Just have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the video and how these were made.